Sweep City at sold-out Petco. Fernando goes nuclear. Merrill madness strikes again. Walker Buehler with another outstanding start. And the hottest team in baseball, that's right, you heard me, the hottest team in baseball drops 8 runs total, 7 in the final 3 innings to bury Minnesota 8-1 for their 8th straight home win. This is your Padres Postcast, and it starts right now.
This is the Padres Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Friar Faithful? Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, at Jim Grease _GRIES on social media, live on YouTube right after every game. Then we upload, you download Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, and our great friends at Amazon, wherever you get your audio version. And of course, you download OTT. Yeah, you know me, Roku, over-the-top television, Tegna, Share, whatever you want to call it. We are everywhere with this show. And a beautiful day at sold-out Petco. Didn't look like it on TV. A lot of people bought tickets, didn't go. But a huge win for the Padres. And what a performance this weekend. They scored 21 runs, and they pound the Minnesota Twins. How about Fernando Tatis Jr.? Have a game, have a series, 9 for 14, 6 RBIs, 3 homers in the series, and rare air. Wait till I tell you what Fernando did today, what Walker Buehler did today, Jackson Merrill going deep again, and another outstanding job by the bullpen that did not include Morejon or Miller today, as they are ready for the Pirates coming in. 3 games at Petco against the Pirates. Huge series. Got to win 2 of those minimum. Go for a sweep if you can get it. Then you got the day off. You go to Tampa. You go to Cincy. You play a really good Rays team, and then a Cincinnati team. But, hey, the Twins were hanging around in the American League wildcard race, and they still are, even after this weekend. So bullpen meltdown for the Twins, not for the Padres. Merrill madness, Buehler deals, Fernando erupts. Walker Buehler's been really good his last few starts. Wait till you hear about this. And the sweep, number 7 of the season, 8 straight home wins for Major League Baseball's hottest team, your San Diego Padres. It's Grease, it's the Postcast. Let's go.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Number 7 for the Friars, the Furry making an appearance. I mean, after a weekend like this, you got to do it. 21 runs in 3 games. They erupt after those couple of games in New York where they ran themselves out of a win in the opening game of the series and couldn't get the big hit in the 3rd game. Could have swept that series as well. Their pitching has been phenomenal lately. The starting pitching with the additions of Robbie Ray and Casey Mize, who seems to be fine with the ankle, by the way, and in line to make a start on Friday at Tampa. And liking that extra day. And think about going to the humidity, too. If you've never dealt with that, if you've had a sprain or even like arthritis or something, you go to the humidity of Florida, it's much, much worse. But 8-1, the victory today, it wasn't just about winning a baseball game. No. This was about the finish. This was about the people's elbow, the stone cold stunner, the leg drop from Hogan. It was about the finish. The Padres scored 7 runs in their final 3 offensive innings. They didn't hit in the 9th, of course. 4 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th. They scored 6 on Friday. They scored 7 yesterday, 8 today, 21. Only son, but he served us well in the series. And zoom this thing out. Wide angle shot. This offense has become one of the best in baseball since July 24th. Are you ready? The Padres, 20-7, best record in Major League Baseball. Why, you ask? Well, maybe you didn't ask, but I'm here to tell you. Anyway, it's my job. It's what I love to do. 1st in Major League Baseball in batting average, 2nd in OPS, 4th in runs per game, 5th in home runs, and 4th lowest strikeout percentage for the Padres. They're hitting for average. They're hitting for power. They're getting on base. They're controlling the strike zone. And today they added 8 walks to 9 hits and 3, count them, 3 home runs. And it's the guys who are hitting them, right? It's 2 for Fernando. It's 1 for Jackson Merrill. Remember when Merrill was 0 for 12 over 3 games with 9 strikeouts? That was so last week. I mean, home runs in back-to-back games, multiple RBIs yesterday. It's not just a hot weekend. This is a month-long offensive transformation, and in the middle of it right now and always. 2021 levels, anyone? Buehler, get it? Right? No. But Fernando Tatis Jr., the hottest player in baseball right now. I mean, one of them. And I know the Phillies won and Schwarber walked it off and the Diamondbacks came back and they won. But, hey, Doesn't matter. The Padres staying hot and sweeping this series. What a nice job by the Pods to get this done, right? And think about this, okay? For yours and mine, San Diego Padres, the faithful, I know you're happy, right? You got one in the third on Fernando's solo homer. The Twins got one in the fifth. Lee hit a homer off Buehler, one inning in which Buehler struggled. He gave up the homer with 2 outs and then a double with 2 outs. And then Doc say it's a wrap. It's a wrap. That's all they got off Buehler all day long. And then in the 6th inning is when things really started to happen. I will get to that un momento, por favor. But Buehler gave a leadoff single to Luke Keeschel in the first. He was good all weekend. Immediately erased it with a double play. That wouldn't be the first time he'd do that. Then he started rolling. And even though the Pods couldn't get anything going early against Bailey Ober, who had really been struggling coming into this start, Fernando gave us a warning shot on his first trip up. The hardest hit ball of the game was the 1 out that Fernando made. Rips a bullet line drive on the second pitch of his at-bat in the bottom of the 1st inning. Caught. And I think Tony Gwynn Jr. said it perfectly on the telecast with Don Orsillo. He said, he didn't say man, that's me, but he said, I think it caught him more than he caught it, no doubt. Hardest hit ball of Fernando's day was an out, and that tells you what kind of a day was coming. 3rd inning, Fernando, don't say his name, Fernando puts San Diego up 1-0, 105 miles an hour off the bat. By the way, the one in the 1st inning was 115 exit velo. This one, 105, listed at 396, but it was off the facade of the Western Metal building on a line. A bullet smashed into it. Looked like it still was going and had somewhere to go. And remember what we knew coming in. Bailey Ober had been vulnerable to the long ball. Fernando jumped on that weakness. Pods 1, Twins nothing. 4th inning, Buehler rolling, man. They get Byron Buxton aboard. Doesn't matter. Buehler gets an inning-ending double play. Anyone? Buehler, Walker, San Diego Ranger. Traffic erased, game controlled. Then in the 5th, one mistake by Buehler. Brooks Lee finally gets him a 401-foot solo homer. We're tied 1-1, and this ends up being basically the only damage the Twinkies do all day because Buehler responds, and the Padres would respond eventually much louder. And you're thinking, bottom 5, they got a shot. Fernando singles, 109 miles an hour to left field, man. Cronenworth with another single, 2 aboard, 1 away. What happens? Manny strikes out. France flies out. Manny really struggling right now, BT Dubs. Opportunity wasted, still 1-1. And then the entire baseball game changes. And we do. We have our first benchmark of the night.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Oh, the Padres in the bottom of the 6th inning. They did it in the 7th with 4 runs yesterday. Today, it was an inning earlier in the bottom of the 6th inning, and they had taken Ober out. The Twins had. They didn't want to play with fire anymore, and they bring in Funderburk, and eventually would have to bring in Hoffman. And these guys get an award of their own today. But Funderburk, Merrill reaches on an error by the shortstop Culpepper. Inning would have been worse. Jackson gets picked off, caught stealing, right? But then Campusano walks. Hayes hits for Sheets. He walks. Hoffman comes in. Bogarts walks on a 3-2 pitch. And then first pitch hunting, Rengifo, Luis Rengifo with a bullet of a ground ball down into the right field corner, right down the line, scoring Campusano, scoring Hayes. It's 3-1 Padres. Bogarts ends up on 3rd. Bowen runs for Rengifo at 2nd. And what happens? This is another example of what in the world are you thinking, bro?
Since hindsight is always 20/20, let's deliver today's second guess.
And you walk 3, Rengifo hits a 2-run double. You bring in Bowen to pinch run. You know what I mean? It's 3-1. I mean, you're still in it if you're Minnesota. There's 1 out in the inning. First base is open. Guess who's coming up? Don't say his name. Don't pitch to him. Fernando. What do? They don't walk him. There's no force anywhere. They don't have a double play set up. You got the hottest hitter in baseball. Duh. I mean, come on. What's his name? Derek what? The manager of the Twins? I forget his name, man. Who even cares at this point? I don't even want to hold up the show. Trying to look it up. But what an unbelievable, just a dumb move. I mean, really just a stupid move by the Minnesota Twins and their manager, Derek Shelton. Pete Mackey, the pitching coach. Anyway, I don't understand it. No one in the world understands it. They pitch to Fernando. Right away, rips a 2-run single to center. 3-1 becomes 5-run. 4-run 6th. Game transformed. Padres out. That is your turning point right there. And speaking of which, right on time, we go to the break. Still to come, who fudged up? Still to come, player of the game. Still to come, the X Factor. We get you ready for tomorrow with the Pirates and the struggling Paul Skeens coming in, who pitches game 2 of this series. And we have so much more coming your way. We'll give you the wild card race update. We'll get you ready for that series against Pittsburgh, and we will just revel in the joys of victory and a sweep at Petco with the 8-1 victory over the Twins. But first, thank you to our friends at Amazon for a limited break. We hit that now, and then we keep it rolling. Grease, you, Padres Postcast, right here. Locked On Padres on the Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network, and your team, your pods, your Friars, got the furry out every single day. Not the furry every single day, your Friars, your pods every single day. Yeah, you know what I meant. And everybody knows what I mean when I say a big thank you. I feel different making the prayer signal in this furry. You know, I feel like an actual friar. You know what I'm saying? But a big thank you to our friends at Amazon for this limited break. This back-to-school season, spend less on your kids with Amazon. We all know how crazy back-to-school shopping can be. That whole experience, it starts with a few items on the list. Then suddenly you're shopping for supplies, for clothes, for lunch gear, for tech, and about 10 other things you didn't see coming. It adds up fast. How about when your kid hits a growth spurt and you're like, bing, stop eating my food, man? No, we'll get into that as well, but Whole Foods, groceries, Amazon too. But when you buy clothes for back to school, then your kid has a growth spurt 2 weeks later and you're right back where you started. Here you go round again. Sometimes it genuinely feels like they're growing faster than your budget can keep up. You know what I'm saying? And then there's the need versus want list, right? When your kid's definition of need for back to school shopping is a lot different than your definition of need that you have for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So somehow the list keeps getting longer every time they look at it and every time they show it to you. More money, more money, more money. Explaining the need versus want conundrum this time of year has just become an annual part of the process. And of course, they have that next day delivery before 7 a.m., which I use all the time for my stuff. I have a son who's a senior. The other two are grown up and out of school. But hey, long time I've been one of those parents with the back to school stuff. And thank God for Amazon. So remember, Amazon, with their low back to school prices, just spend less on your kids, because every dollar you don't spend on them is a dollar you haven't spent on them. And don't tell anyone, but you can spend it on yourself. Shop back to school at Amazon. Spend less on your kids. On the Locked On Podcast Network, your team, your pods, your Friars, the hottest team in baseball every single day. Oh, Jeff Bezos, thank you for sitting at that desk for all those years with the stupid little frumpy Amazon banner that you used to have, sticking it through and becoming what you have become. And thank you so much for that limited break from our friends at Amazon. I'm waiting for someone right now from Amazon, as a matter of fact. So if you see me get up and go to the door, you know what I'm saying? And you know what it is. You know what it is. And what it is an 8-1 Padres win over the Twinkies at Petco. Sold out again on Military Sunday. Thank you to our men and women in uniform. And that service is just, you know, so selfless and just unbelievable what they do. And nobody celebrates that like the great military city of San Diego and like the great organization, the San Diego Padres. And what a way to celebrate today. They showed up and they showed out, man. Jackson Merrill with a homer. Fernando with a huge game. Going to get to the box score in a minute. We already talked about what happened in this game, but 8-9-0 for the Padres, 1-6-1 for the Twins. The Pods got 1 in the third. Twins got 1 in the fifth. 4 in the sixth for the Padres. We told you about Rengifo's 2-run double, the turning point. Open the floodgates. They don't walk Fernando with first base open and 1 out. Hottest hitter in baseball. Don't set up the force. Don't set up the double play. Duh. What in the world are you doing? 2-run single later, 5-1. Doc say it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Twins mailing it in from there. Pods got 2 more in the 7th. Merrill hit a homer. And then in the 8th inning, it was Fernando with another homer. By the way, Bogarts with an RBI double in the 7th after Merrill's homer as well. So a great day for the Padres. Man, oh man, Fernando Tatis Jr. at the top of the lineup and number 1 in your hearts as a Padre fan, right? 4 for 5, 2 runs scored, 4 RBIs, 2 home runs, a stolen base, and again playing terrific defense in right field. Cronenworth 1 for 5, 2 strikeouts. Machado 1 for 5, a walk and a strikeout. France 0 for 4 with a walk and a strikeout. Jackson Merrill 1 for 5, but he homered on the second consecutive day. had the RBI and the run scored. Of course, Campusano 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Sheets, 2 walks, nothing more. And Hayes was 2 walks as well. 4 walks out of that spot in the lineup, the DH spot. Hayes came around to score 2 runs in this game. And man, oh man, Bogarts 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Rengifo 1 for 3 with the 2-run double. The Padres only struck out 5 times in today's game. They left 9 on base. They were 3 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Merrill was picked off first and caught stealing. Fernando had a stolen bag again, and they turned 3 double plays today. How about on the bump? That means the mound. Walker Buehler, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. It was a homer, a solo shot. He struck out 4, and he walked none. Had the sinker going today in full effect, that sinker in the cutter. He was a 2-pitch pitcher for the most part today, but he gets the win deservedly after that one in New York that they let get away with the base running blunders in the opener against the Mets, and he deserved better. He gets a big win today. In his last 22 innings, he's allowed 5 earned runs. In his last 4 starts, Walker Buehler has looked very, very good, almost top of the rotation good. He and Vasquez knocking on the door with Mize and Ray, and reporters clocking, producers jocking. They want to be down with Michael King. Anyway, Wandy Peralta, 2 scoreless innings, just 1 hit and a strikeout. Yuki Matsui goes the 9th, allows a hit, has a strikeout as well, but they don't use Morejon, they don't use Estrada, and they do not use the Reaper, who had pitched 2 days in a row. Meanwhile, for the Twins, nobody really doing anything. Rodin had 2 hits, and then, of course, you had the 1 home run off the bat of Lee, their third baseman. Ober was good, man. He battled 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks. 4 hits and 3 walks in 5 innings. Padres couldn't break through, and it was a 1-1 game when he departed. And then it was Funderburk and Hoffman, and that leads me to...
Uh-oh, somebody messed up, and it's time to let them know with Who Fudged Up.
Yeah. Who fudged up? I mean, this is very easy, the who fudged up today. It was the bottom of the 6th inning. It was Funderburk and it was Hoffman. 3 walks in that inning, but the Twins bullpen overall, okay? Funderburk and Hoffman, they each gave up 2 earned runs, as did Adams, and then Rogers gave up 1. So you're looking at 7 earned runs, okay, allowed by the bullpen in 3 innings. 7 earned runs in 3 innings. They had 3 walks. They gave up 5 hits, 8 base runners, 2 homers. So again, I repeat, Funderburk, Hoffman, Adams, Rogers, nobody's immune. Nobody's safe. They fudged themselves harshly today, and 4 consecutive 20-pitch innings for the Twins, and that included the last inning that Ober pitched, and the Padres just couldn't get to him and knock him out of the game. But great job, relentless pressure from the Padres, and that leads me to I wonder who the X Factor is going to be today.
It's time to reveal who made the biggest under-the-radar impact with today's X Factor.
Today's X Factor is Walker Buehler, man. And Wandy and Matsui were great. 3 innings combined. Shout out to those 2 guys in the bullpen, the unsung heroes all year long in many ways, especially Matsui, right? But Walker, San Diego Ranger, or Buehler, anyone, whatever you want to call Walker Buehler, just don't call him a walker because he didn't walk anybody today. He was fantastic. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run on a solo homer, 4 strikeouts, got a big inning-ending double play in one of the innings, got an immediate erasure of a leadoff single in the first inning with another double play ball. He kept the ball on the ground. Not a lot of fly balls today. Did not walk anybody. X Factor, Walker Buehler, which leads me to, yeah, and you know what's coming. You know what's coming. It was a Tati party by the Bay.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Call his name, don't pitch to him. Fernando Tatis Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, wow, this dude has been unbelievable. 9 for 14, 6 RBIs, 3 home runs in this series. Never mind the 2 home run game in the Grand Slam robbery against the Mets in New York, man. 4 for 5. He's got to be the player of the week in Major League Baseball. He's got to be. Who else in the world? Who in the blue hell? 4 for 5, 2 home runs, 4 RBI, 2 runs scored, and a stolen base. The one time he made an out was his first at bat on an 0-1 pitch. He hit the ball 115 miles an hour, a bullet of a line drive into left field. His balls in play on the day, 115, 116, 117, and 109, his exit velo. I repeat, 115, 116, 117, 109. Crushing obliterating baseballs. I'm amazed the cover didn't come off, right? In the 8th inning, 390 feet to left center, a line drive wall scraper. A line drive wall scraper of a home run. His home run earlier in the game was a line drive bullet into the second deck off the Western Metal Supply building, just destroying everything in his path right now, playing all-world defense in right field. Dare I say 2021, Fernando? Dare I say it? Now, make your jokes now. Make your jokes now. Say what you got to say now. He's the best player in baseball since the All-Star break. I said it. No one's close. Just look it up. He's doing everything. He's stealing bases. Last night, he scored from first base on Cronenworth's double. Hardly anybody else in the league would have done that. Fernando's doing it right now. His second 2-homer game of the week, and only the third Padre ever. Jackson Merrill is one of them, by the way, with 4 hits, 2 home runs, and a stolen base in the same game. What I've loved about Fernando lately goes beyond the home runs, the defense, the base running, the aggression, the energy, the complete baseball. He's robbing homers. He's taking extra bases. He's scoring from first on doubles. He is impacting games without the bat, which is red hot to the top. He is red hot. And when the bat is doing this, this is peak superstar Fernando Tatis Jr. And one more thing I want to mention. Hello again, Action Jackson. Hello, my friend. Hello. He was 0 for 12 with 9 strikeouts. Remember that? The last 2 Mets games and then the first game of this series. Well, homers yesterday, drives in 2. Homers today, 414 feet. His second 400-foot homer of the series, number 21 on the year. He's going to have his age soon. I mean, to be that age and to have that money and to have that spark and to have that talent and just to be, I mean, come on. Like, remember Robin Yount came up as a shortstop, moved to center field when he made his big league debut at 18 years old. Jackson Merrill came up as a shortstop, played center field the minute he hit the major leagues, and has looked like a Gold Glover ever since. Plus, Merrill Madness is waking back up. Now, Manny, that's another story. You know what I'm saying? That's not looking great right now for Manny. Xander did pick up an RBI today. You know, and the Padres can sit back. They took care of their business. Didn't get any extra help from the Reds today. More on that in the second. But Philly had already won and completed its sweep of St. Louis. It was 4-4 in the 9th. Kyle Schwarber, a walk-off 2-run homer. Schwarber does Schwarber-like things in that game. Phillies finish out the sweep. Arizona and Cincinnati. Let me see if that one went final. Un momento, por favor. Let me see. Because if it did, then we are looking at the same thing. All around the world is the same song. We're looking at the same thing. Let's see. Where's it at? Where are we? Where are we? Yeah, the D-backs came back. They were down 3-1, won at 5-3. So still 2 games ahead of Arizona and still 2 games behind on the streets of Philadelphia. But, you know, we don't know what the future holds, but we know if the Padres keep playing like this, they're going to make the playoffs. If the Padres keep playing like this, they're going to make a deep run. And if the Padres keep playing like this, they got as good a chance as anybody, including the deferred team from Los Angeles that will be paying half their roster trillions of dollars. I'm exaggerating, of course, until the year like 2048. But who couldn't win if you're doing that? I mean, it's ridiculous, right? But don't hate the players, hate the game. It's the rules. It's not the Dodgers. Kind of like the steroid era when Major League Baseball rode Barry Bonds, Sosa, and McGuire back to prominence after the obscurity that they put themselves in with the 1994 strike in the canceled World Series. It wasn't Ripken's streak. It was steroids. It was the home run. Then they disavowed all those players after enabling them for all that time, which is exactly what they're going to do to the Dodgers and teams like them. But we can't control Arizona, can't control Philadelphia, can't control Minnesota, can't even control the Dodgers. But what we can control, if you're a Padres player, is what you do on the field. And they were right in the thick of the wild card race entering the weekend, and they go 3-0. What a job this weekend for the Padres. Thank you for making us your first watch or listen with your Padres postcast, Locked On Padres podcast as well, day in and day out with the wonderful and amazing, all the good vibes of Javier Reyes, wherever you're seeing me or hearing me right now. On video, we send you to your first ever 24/7 YouTube channel on MLB, and on audio, check out Locked On MLB Game Night for your second listen. Man, oh man. 7 sweeps, 8 straight home wins, 21 runs in 3 games this weekend, 20 wins in 27 games. Fernando Tatis Jr. playing superstar baseball. Jackson Merrill back again and not far behind him, heating back up. Walker Buehler dealing, the entire rotation. If you look back from Mize the Sunday before the Mets series, then Buehler, right? And then Robbie Ray, and then Michael King, and then Randy Vasquez in the opener of this series. Mize, the exception, gave up 3 homers and still gave up only 3 runs in his start, though, sprains his ankle. And then today, Buehler again, man. The rotation is on fire. The bullpen is on fire. You got the best lefty reliever in Morejon in Major League Baseball in the world. Same thing on the right side from the Reaper, Mason Miller. Really looking good for the Padres right now. And what a way to put an exclamation point on the sweep, too. 7 unanswered late runs, starting with the 6th inning, the 4-run 6th, a 4-run 7th yesterday. Again, man, 6 runs, 7 runs, 8 runs. You know what I'm saying? Back to back to back. And Drake doesn't even have a lyric for that. So, I got nothing. But the hottest team in baseball isn't just chasing October anymore. They are coming for it to take it and claim it as theirs. Keep your game tight and your mind right. Padres sweep the Twins. Thank you so much for being here. And again, tomorrow, that Pirates game right afterwards will be here live with the show. Whether you watch or just listen is up to you. But either way, we love you. We appreciate you from the everydayer right on down to the newbie, the Friar Faithful. Your team, your Pods, your Friars every day right here on Locked On Padres on the Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network. Thanks again. Peace from Greece. Sweep by the Bay.